boys of summer are back, and so is Charm City Beat, the best damn sports show in Baltimore. Let's get down to it.
Oh my, I know you're white mafia.
All right, so let's get into it. The Orioles are back, man.
The beer cold.
Wow. Who would have expected them to win their first series in Brooklyn?
The Bronx.
The Bronx, there you go.
Against the New York Yankees, who won 100 games last year. James Paxton, Tanaka, Hap. The only thing they're expected to do is lose.
Yeah.
And they're not doing that.
And that was the thing, like, going into the season, and we said it in last week's episode, I was like, don't expect much. Well, me not expecting anything has been wonderful because now we're sitting currently almost at the top.
Yeah, as of Tuesday, they're
as of Tuesday, what?
Place,
Yeah,
and playing really well. And it's not Buck ball. Buck Showalter's gone, and now they're stealing bases. They're bunting the ball down the field. Chris Davis is not even playing some of these games.
It's great.
They're using openers, which is a reliever coming in to start a game and then being pulled for 2 innings, so the other team can't get a chance to get used to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different type of baseball in Baltimore, and while there are still a lot of questions with talent,
For sure.
it works somehow. Right now, at least right now, at the current moment, if I was speaking too fast, what we're doing, we're winning.
It's a gang of misfits.
Yeah. It's weird, man.
It's guys who wouldn't be on a team
It's literally
any
the
other
Mighty
place
Ducks
in the league.
It's literally the Mighty
And they
Ducks.
bought into whatever Hyde has, kind of put on the field, and it's brilliant to watch.
Yeah, and it's like even like when you watch like the behind the scenes videos like on Twitter, like in the locker room, they seem so much more happier, so much more excited. And that's another thing. There's a lot of youth, so yeah, talent's going to develop out of that. Of course, outside of the next couple of years, we'll see what happens, but I'm excited.
And they made the choice to keep a lot of their superstars that are coming up in AAA, like a Chance Sisco and a Hayes, who were on the Major League roster last year, DJ Stewart. They're all in Norfolk doing what they call the elite pipeline.
Yeah.
And they're doing the same thing the major leaguers are doing, the bunting and the running and the patience at the plate, but they're doing it in games that don't matter. So when they do finally get up here, they're already ready to roll into that system. Yeah. And when guys like Jonathan Villar get traded at the deadline, guys like Austin Hinton come in and they're going to be, they're going to be stars.
It's going to be great. Of course, we have the home opener Thursday.
Yep.
That's exciting. We will be there.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I'm super excited. Me and Ross will be there. Dwayne's probably going to be there. You, of course, obviously.
It's like Christmas for me.
It's great. And originally I was only planning on going to Pickles, and here I am going to be at the game. So, yeah, it's going to be really awesome to be in the middle of that. And, I mean, the excitement just Baltimore – home opener, that's just an exciting vibe.
And now they're winning. So all of a sudden, there's a little bit of excitement. Before, if they were to come into this game, 1-5, I think you'd be a little bit less pumped about it. You probably wouldn't get a ticket necessarily. But now, they're winning. Who knows what's going to happen?
Even if roles have been reversed and last week was the home opener, I don't think there would have been a lot of...
The energy would be slightly different. Now you're going to get a coach that you've seen in big games come in and make the move necessary to win.
Yeah.
The players who have come through in big moments, home runs by Trey Mancini. He's going to get massive cheers. Villar's going to get cheered. He had triple on Tuesday night to score a run.
These are the new household names.
Yeah, exactly.
We were talking about that. Who's going to be the names? Well, here they are. And it's exciting. A lot of nail biters, though.
It seems every single game has come down to the ninth inning, which is the Oriole way.
Yeah.
It's always been that way forever.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
But it's big that they're winning in that manner. They're beating the New York Yankees, and they're beating them in the ninth inning. When the Yankees should have the number one, relieving core, bullpen. It's the Orioles who are winning the games.
And the Yankees just lost to the Tigers, so.
It's interesting.
It's a very interesting week.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's one of those cases, hold your breath because you don't know what's going to happen next, but a little sigh of relief. We are looking good, but again, this is only the first 4 to 5 games.
No, it's early, and I do expect this team to start losing at some point, start scuffling.
At some point, yeah. Hopefully.
And then we'll see. I mean, the deadline, they're probably going to deal players. I wouldn't be surprised if Trey Mancini's gone, if Villar is gone, if Givens is gone. But they're here right now, and they've balled in. They're trying to win. They're not trying to lose. The Blue Jays and the Tigers look lost to me.
Yeah.
They have teams. There's no direction. They've got young guys who aren't going to be there in the future. The Orioles they're different.
Yeah. They kind of had a direction, but they have the young people, but they have the direction.
They're doing things the right way.
Yeah. And, I mean, like I said, of course, if you go on the internet, you got the Baltimore fans, as I've said. There's a lot of complaints. players being pulled, pitchers being pulled over, no hitters, and this, that, and the other. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
About the no-hitter?
Yeah, the no-hitter last night.
I thought it was the right move. I thought you had a guy that pitched 40-some pitches opening day. A couple of days later, he's pitching again, 82 pitches I think he was at in the 7th. And the last couple outs were line drives. Like, he was faltering as it was.
Yeah.
And this is a guy you want to have pitch for 30 games. You don't want to blow his arm out because he's chasing history.
Yeah.
I think it's a tough move, but I think it was the right move for Hyde. He said all the right things afterwards in regards to that. And it's a shock in the system when it first happens.
Yeah.
You scale back a little bit. It makes sense. He's a kid. You got to protect his arm.
And you also got to look at it like from the point of view of just your average fan watching. It's like, holy shit, we almost lost that game.
Yeah.
You pulled him out. But the fact is we did win.
Yep.
And like you said, you don't want to burn this kid out. This is a young kid. You don't want to burn him out. There's a long season.
I was more upset with the guy they brought in.
Yeah.
He was
I was like,
the
Jesus,
last
dude,
man
what are you
on
doing?
the roster. They could have brought somebody else in, and you probably don't give up those runs.
Yeah, but I think there is a little bit of hope here. I think same expectations. Not going to expect too much. Not get the hopes up too high because by June you will be disappointed possibly.
But they won less than 20 road games all of last year. They've already got 3 as of Tuesday.
So already we're making semi progress. So hold on to that going forward. Again, opening day, home opener. They're playing the Yankees, so it's
James Paxton versus Alex Cobb.
There are still tickets, I'm sure, on sale, so go get them.
It's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good game. I'm down for it.
And the Orioles have like the best home opener record.
Yeah.
Of any team in baseball, they haven't lost in years.
And I think like opening day in general, their record was pretty
good
until this year. They lost this one. But we weren't expecting them to win, so I'll give them that. But let's go across the road. M&T Bank. What's going on in Baltimore, bro?
The Ravens are gearing up for the NFL draft, and today, Tuesday, April 2nd, was the official, they call it the Liars Lunch, and it's basically where Eric DeCosta gives his thoughts on the draft, but he's not going to spoil too much of what he's got planned. But the media basically gets to ask questions to DeCosta, John Harbaugh, and just about their plans for April's draft in a few weeks.
Yeah, a lot of things I got from it, I'm excited. I'm very excited that they're trying to build this team around Lamar. I think that's the most important thing, that they are trying to fill the holes that they need. As we both talked about, probably won't be a first-round pick if we had to predict right now.
They've got one pick in the top 84. That's the 22nd overall pick.
Yeah.
And DeCosta loves draft picks. He doesn't have a second. That's going to be tearing them up right now.
Yeah.
They gave it away last year to get Lamar Jackson. So I can see them trading out. He said today that if they saw somebody that was fantastic, that you had the draft, they would take him at 22. But if he's not there, my guess is they're going to trade back, get a couple seconds, like they did in 2012.
One name that kept getting bounced around was Metcalf, which is obvious. The guy literally looks like a freak of nature. And I think from what John Harbaugh was saying, like he wants those physical guys on the outside. And it's definitely something we need in this new offense. Metcalf fits the mold. He's as big as probably most tight ends.
I think DeCosta likes him. They talked about him today. They compared him to Marius Thomas. They said he runs like Terrell Owens after the catch. Those are two freak athletes. Terrell Owens is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and I honestly think like if Metcalf somehow fell that far, there's no question he'd be wearing purple and black, in my opinion.
There's quite a few wide receivers in the draft. I think there's a couple they've really liked that if he's there at 22, they'll take. Otherwise, they'll probably drop back. It's a great draft for safeties. It's a great draft for offensive linemen. Great draft for pass rushers. They need pass rushers.
Yeah.
I think they do end up taking a safety later in the draft. It might actually. I'm actually surprised they ended up signing who they did from Seattle.
Yeah.
Knowing how deep the safety draft was.
Yeah, Earl Thomas signing was, I think, more of a insurance policy.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get some production out of Earl Thomas this next year and next year. Obviously, the amount of money they spent on him probably was like, whoa.
You're bringing in a leader like defense.
But you're bringing in a leader. They need leadership. Mosley's gone. Weddle's gone. Suggs is gone. Leadership is gone. So let's bring in one of the best safeties that have played in the last 10 years. So, yeah, that makes sense. And what better player that any young rookie could play under?
Sure.
Earl Thomas.
But I would not be surprised if they use one of their 2-3s or 2-4s on safety.
Understood. No question. I think also one thing that I didn't hear too much about that I wouldn't be surprised if they did, looking at inside linebackers. Now, we and you have talked about this. Kenny Young, Onwuasor, very solid, but are they long-term?
I think they're long-term. I think Kenny Young had He's a rookie. I think in the second half he was slowing down a little bit. I think they were kind of shocked C.J. Mosley left. I thought they were going to get that deal done. He's gone. They probably could have signed him last year for a lot cheaper than he signed with the Jets. So I'm a little bit interested to see what happens there. But those are the guys they're leaning on. But they probably will get an outside linebacker, maybe the 6th round, 5th round.
Yeah, and I think definitely
inside.
Well, yeah, and you also got to look at the fact that there is, in terms of pass rushers, it's pretty deep as well.
It's deep draft.
So the move that not keeping Suggs, not keeping Zadarius Smith, doesn't hurt us as much knowing what's out there.
For sure,
in my opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised early picks. I mean, let's be honest here. They could get rid of the first pick, maybe get a second, maybe a third, get a few more.
Especially if the guy they like at 22 is probably going to be there in the early second.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably still get the guy that won.
Surprise me.
Be ready to cost it like.
I'm so excited. But what else was there?
I mean, he talked about the fact that, what I thought was interesting is that he doesn't draft. It's a misconception, he said, that they don't draft for need. Mm-hmm. Like, he says that a lot of times, like, unless it's a fantastic player, they'll take a player that they need rather than want, which I thought was an interesting thing. So they probably will end up getting a wide receiver in the draft. They probably will end up getting a pass rusher. I mean, probably a running back even. Yeah,
these are things that are all needed. I would be interested to see if we do anything about the line, honestly.
They talked about guards today. Marshall Yant is only going to be around for so much longer. He is playing still at all-pro level, and it's offensive line. I mean, he broke his foot 2 years ago, and you saw how bad the offense was without him. Yeah. They got a great right tackle last year. They're set at left tackle. They could use another inside lineman though.
Yeah, and I think tight ends were solid. I don't think we need another tight end. We have like 4.
What's the problem? They've signed another one.
It wouldn't surprise me, but we have like 4. And they're really, and we have a good tight end core. We have Mark Andrews, who I think is give him time. I think he could be one of the better receiving tight ends in the league.
I think he's already top 5 as far as catching. I think the whole package, he's got to come along a little bit. But, I mean, he won the tight end award
in Oklahoma.
With Baker Mayfield. And he had some big catches last year. Remember the Chargers game in week 16?
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I mean, we have some good blockers, and I think that's another thing. Nick Boyle, signing him, and at first, me, I was like, what the hell? Why do we do this? And then it made sense. Like, well, shit, we're not the same Ravens. We need blocking tight ends now.
And they got Hayden Hurst.
And they have Hayden Hurst.
Who didn't drop a pass in his senior year in college.
Yeah.
So, he got hurt, obviously, last year. I think it kind of
and I think it slowed him down. But I think he's going to pick right back up where he left off. But, yeah, I think, with the draft coming, what are we, like 2 weeks away from it right now, 2.5 weeks?
Not bad.
It's exciting because you just don't know who's going to be there. You don't know who's going to fall into the Ravens' lap. We've seen some good picks. We've seen some bad picks. And John even talked about it. He's seen guys that have worked out and guys that haven't.
Yeah.
And I go back to Metcalf, not to hit on him too much, but, with him, I wonder if it's one of those things where if he looks good on paper,
I always wonder, like a freak athlete like that should be going 1 overall, but he's not. And I think the reason he's going as high as he is as it is because he's a freak athlete. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch the football in traffic consistently. The Orioles the Ravens, it's Orioles season, have gotten guys that they thought were going to do something. Yeah. It's second round has been their Achilles heel for many years with regards to that.
Yeah, hopefully that changes this year. Honestly, I think taken away from what I read, there's a lot of confidence I got. I felt confidence. I felt there's a lot of, I don't think, when you take a team that's lost 3 big players, you lost a Super Bowl winning quarterback. That, of course, obviously fell off. You lost both your receivers.
Yes.
Most teams would be in code red, but I felt calmness from them. And obviously you were there, so you could actually see what was happening.
DaCosta called it like Christmas.
Yeah.
He's excited. It's his first draft as the official general manager. And he's building a team around Lamar Jackson. And he says that he thinks there's a chance they can get players that aren't on other people's radar because they're getting guys that are going to fit into that mold of a running quarterback who can throw the ball. They're not necessarily in need of a big-time possession guy.
Yeah.
They're looking for speed. I think they're looking for guys who can pass block on the run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think honestly, most importantly, we're just looking for team players. And I think that's why AB is not wearing purple and black. That's why you see a lot of players that went to other teams that aren't wearing purple and black because they don't fit that mold. They don't fit the way the team is going to be.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the draft is almost here, man. It's awesome. It's exciting. We got coverage for you. We're nonstop. We're here. Like, we're just here, man. I'm so excited.
It's a good time in Baltimore.
It's a great time to be a fan in Baltimore. But, of course, stay tuned. We got so much more coming. Charm City Beat, we're here 365. We got coverage for you. See you at opening day.
Respect you, man. That shit is earned. You used to love me, but you now hating. That shit is learned. You don't know what to